Hey y'all, hey. I am on this route home from work to go do the rest of my work. So I decided to jump on. I know I have not been on in a little bit. Just because, trying to maneuver through some changes in life and find some kind of balance. So sorry for being missing. Car rides with Tim. I know that little seatbelt thing is annoying, y'all. I'm sorry. I got a bed heavy ever since one of them pregnancies, and my children are of age, obviously. I ain't got no little babies. I used to feel like the seatbelt be restricting me because I was real big. But anyways, I ain't never get over it. So today's topic is Tuesday. Tell it all Tuesday, I guess we'll name it. What I got to share with y'all? Relinquishing control is the topic of today. So transparency, I have an issue with control. I like to control as much as I can, when I can, how I can, about everything. I don't like surprises per se. Not that I can't be surprised, but I am a person who face tells it all. So if the surprise isn't a great surprise to the capacity I want it, let's say that, because it may not be not a good surprise, right? I just may not be feeling that, maybe going through something. Sorry, getting messages. It could be a lot of things that kind of dictate why I move, how I move. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Lips looking a little dry, so I had to go get a little moisturizer real quick. Alright, so, and that's why I'll be putting on a filter, alright? So if I ain't noticed something, the filter just makes it all better. But anyways, back to the surprises piece. I like to control as much as I can, just so that I can mentally prepare, right? Surprise, you ain't always able to mentally prepare. Not medically diagnosed with much of anything, but I know who I am, right? And so I could say I suffer from a couple of things, and anxiety being one of it, just to be transparent, that when certain things take place and I haven't processed it, or it's, it could be life-changing or not. It could be simple, right? But if I wasn't necessarily aligned with it and I didn't get a chance to kind of dissect it in my mind, the reaction is different. So, excuse me, I like to control as much as I can, and that's with anything. Little things, big things, bills, ride somewhere. I need to know where I'm going, who's going to be there, so I know if I'm willing or if I want to even be in that environment. That's family function, friend functions. At work, I try to go to work on certain days, so I'm not overstimulated if it's too many people, with the louder people, whatever, it depends. I don't have an issue with anybody at work, thank God. But depending on what's going on in my life and at work, right? Work could be more stressful. I try to be present when there's less interaction needed, because I have a tell me what you need, what you want, get in and out mentality under heavier stress, where when everything's cool, I may have a more laxy-daisy spirit. And so people could tell that. People could pick up on that. And some people don't know me well enough to read that my serious face is just my resting. I won't say it's a rest and be face like people say. I could just be chilling, just focused, and then people will take it a certain way. But if I'm trying to get a bunch of things done, how I might look or react is different. So controlling things of that aspect, my environment, things that I'm involved with, even down to the people in my life, not controlling them, right? Controlling the narrative of things that takes place, because if I could save everybody I care from unnecessary heartache, struggles, hitting their own head, I would. Because I feel like I jumped out in the game, as in life, earlier than some, right? I've been on my own since I was 17. And so life had to teach me a lot of things. Life done took me up and through there, like y'all will say, a few times, okay? As a teenager, in my 20s, 30s, and even in my 40s, right? Obviously in my 40s, I've had enough experience to balance off some things in there. But in my teens and my 20s, the girl had to figure it out. I got married at 19. Divorced at 23. So life had to teach me some things, and from that experience I learned that there was things I need to control. I don't need to hit my head, baby. Tell me something. Show me. Tell me. So I can control the narrative as much as I can. And obviously there's just some things you can't control. Does not mean that I like it. It makes me more anxious at times, but things that do help me, and I've learned that in therapy and just in life as well, right? Probably paid more attention to it in therapy because I was paying for it. To focus on the controllables, the things that I can control, the things that I can't control, just relinquish it. For me, I just kind of give it to God. And I say that because, again, if I could control everything, I would. Probably most people would, and some people are okay with not. But I like to know the outcome, good or bad or indifferent. So I focus on the controllables. I had something today that made me anxious, and as it started to weigh on me a little bit, I had to take a step back and be like, T, you can't do too much about it. You can say your piece, because that's what you can control. I can control what I say, alright? And then that's it. Then leave the rest to God to do his big one. God gonna do one or the other. And just understanding that, Lord have mercy, a message from Mark. Understand that whatever the end result is what it's supposed to be, and I just got to be cool with it. And sometimes anxiety isn't just attached to what's going on with me. It's what's going on with other people's lives that I'm associated with, whether it's a friend, whether it's my husband, whether it's my children, whether it's other family members, co-workers, just people that I care about. But in today, excuse me, I caught myself having a moment about something that I really couldn't control. I can try to try to put some persuasion in it and probably help make the decision or put perception to be a focal point in the situation, but it's ultimately not up to me. So it doesn't make me uneasy, yeah, but then you gotta kind of dig deep, right? Because there's so many things in this life that we can't control. We have no control over at all, and we gotta learn to kind of deal with that. And that's talking to myself. I don't know, I'm sure there are other people in the world like that, just to really have an issue or control issues. And that's even learning to be a wife. Like, I'm used to being here, poncho in my castle, doing what I want to do. I'm the baby that don't like to listen, because I don't necessarily want to be controlled, right? So I control me. But that's a discussion for another time. But wanted to kind of drop that with y'all. Control what you can control, and give the rest to God, and know that things will be what they're supposed to be. Pray about everything and just trust God to work it out for your good and for their good. And that's it, and that's all. Hope y'all have a good day. I'm going to tap back in. I'm not sure when. Don't hold me. I am trying to get back on a better cadence. Life is just doing what it does, and we all maneuvering through this thing. So